Afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Body of man pinned under crashed truck recovered. Not surprised, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz speaks on JUTC fare rollback. And later in sports, Reggae boys into CONCACAF Nations League semis with win over Canada. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. Residents in Dumfries, Portland are calling on the authorities to fix the road in their community. This following the death of a truck driver in the area on Tuesday who was pinned under the truck for hours. The ill-fated truck, which plunged 300 feet off the Dumfries Main Road in Portland up to 8 a.m. Wednesday, the body of the driver, Alphonso Thompson, was pinned under the crashed vehicle. Of note, the incident happened sometime after 4 on Tuesday. But firefighters and police were unable to do much because of the rain and poor visibility. The impact of the incident was made clearer at sunrise. The deceased driver was heading to make deliveries when his truck overturned. Residents complained that this was inevitable because the breakaway on the main road has worsened over time.
You know the gentleman?
That go over government, yeah man, Tyan from Fellowship.
What kind of person he is?
He's a good person, man. Mm-hmm. He help out the district a lot, bringing stuff like, apply things to the people.
Oh, yeah. So he was delivering yesterday?
Yeah, some here.
Oh, alright.
Some here that like he was carrying block.
The residents are concerned about the poor conditions of the road and called for it to be fixed soon.
The fire truck couldn't go down the back last night, throw down the back, So then if you do something, if I can scrape off the level, man.
So you said that would have caused what took place last night? Because
if then they got the right something in place, the truck would never go over gully. But the road not there.
We sought a response from the Member of Parliament for West Portland, Darrell Vaz.
There is, as we speak, a contract for $20 million, which includes that road leading up to Dumfries from Hope Bay all the way to Cooper's Hill, which will include bushing, drain cleaning, and patching of the road. So that will start within the next week or two.
Based on the location of the truck, the firefighters had to seek the assistance of a wrecking service from the neighboring parish of St. Anne. With the help of residents, the dead man was pulled from the wreckage sometime before 10 a.m. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the JUTC fares rollback does not come as a surprise to him. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Mr. Vaz said the rollback should help in reducing inflation. Mr. Vaz also said it comes at a good time.
I spoke that provisions were being looked at for the new budget year, but because of the impact, obviously, that it has had and its the projection for November, the minister found it necessary to implement it in this financial year, obviously because of the November figures, which I suspect will be made public later on today. So again, it shows that when there's a joined-up approach in governance, obviously it works better for the people.
Education Minister Favor Williams says the education sector is deeply saddened by the death of 2 students following a motor vehicle crash in Westmoreland on Tuesday. 15-year-old Zakreel McIntyre and 16-year-old Ajani Robinson were riding a motorbike to school in Petersfield when they crashed into a motor car. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Mrs. Williams sent condolences to the family and friends of the students.
The Ministry of Education and Youth, as is our normal protocol, dispatched a trauma team and education officers to the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland. I think we can all agree that this is a tragic loss on so many levels. A loss to their families, the school, communities, and Jamaica as a whole. I pray that with the support of the ministry's counseling team and that of the wider community, that the immediate and extended families will be able to find some comfort during this difficult time.
The St. Elizabeth police say the search continues for the remaining escapees who fled custody at the Black River lockup in June. One of the men, Dean Simpson, was shot and killed in a police shootout on the weekend.
One firearm and several ammunition were recovered during that incident. Of the 8 persons that escaped in June, 4 are now accounted for. 2 of them are deceased, the other 2 in custody. And so we appeal to the other 4 to turn themselves into the police. We also encourage them to seek an attorney and to surrender to the police. And we make this appeal to them not to engage and to confront the security forces.
Acting Superintendent in charge of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Coleridge Minto, is confident that the men will be recaptured.
The outstanding persons who we are still going after, Oral Cole, Ansad Hines, O.C. Kirky, Demar Williams, and Javon Sims. That's 4 out of 8. We're going after them. We're pursuing them with everything that we have. And it's a matter of time before they'll be brought back into custody.
Residents in Fairy Hill Gardens in Portland have encountered a new problem: flooding. The people are blaming ongoing works under the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. Sandy Williams reports. As work on the Harbour View to Port Antonio leg of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project continues, new problems are emerging for residents in Fairy Hill Gardens in Portland. The people say before the roadwork began, flooding was never an issue in the community. But to their dismay, that has changed.
What used to be, there was a cross, what you call it, culvert, that lead the water from that side of the road and the back road leading to the beach. So all that water coming that way was diverted that way. Right? Since the start, that drain has been blocked. So all the water from up top, all the water around here and there come here, accompanied by the mall. So it has blocked the seepage.
They complain that during the recent heavy rains, the community was inundated with water and the roads were impassable.
The other day I wanted something to sort the road here. When I come down here, I couldn't pass because the mud was right there. I had to turn back and drive just from the gate up here, just out there. I couldn't cross.
With the dengue outbreak still a threat, they're concerned about the water settling in a nearby gully.
There's a lot of mosquitoes around here because it doesn't go anywhere. As you can see, I mean, it needs to be cleaned out. Mosquito kill me, it stink. I can't go down and go get none of my fruit them. No, I can't get down. Everything just wash away. Everything wash away. I call NWA in Kingston, and the man asked me, say, what side of the road I'm living on? If it's the seaside or the street side, I say, I'm on the seaside. He sent to send me my folder number, my valuation number, and I sent everything to him. I'm not hearing anything else.
When contacted, communications manager at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw, says Miss Riley's property, which is most affected, is a natural drainage for storm water. However, he adds that the NWA has directed the contractor, China Harbor Engineering Company, Czech, to remove the roadwork residue from the drains. Sandy Williams, TVJ News. It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Bank of Jamaica says it will maintain its 7% policy interest rate. In a release, the BOJ explained that while inflation at October 2023 fell within the bank's target range, the Monetary Policy Committee took into consideration projections that it will rise above the target range between the December 2023 and the March 2025 quarters. The committee, it adds, noted the downside risks to this outlook, adding that it is prepared to take the necessary actions, including further tightening of the monetary policy if the emerging upside risks to inflation materialize. Further afield, the billionaire founder of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange and his company pleaded guilty to federal money laundering violations on Tuesday. The settlement calls for Binance to pay more than $4 billion in fines and penalties. The company's CEO has agreed to step down from the post of the exchange he founded. Federal prosecutors accused Binance of a calculated effort to profit from the U.S. market, steering clear of U.S. laws. In the settlement, Binance admits to anti-money laundering, unlicensed money transmitting, and sanctions violations. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Shane Masters.
And here's a preview of what's coming up in this evening's health report. In this evening's health report, we look at hair relaxer and cancer.
It's best to not do it at home. They found that they had more issues with persons who had relaxer application at home. It's best to follow the actual instructions of the item. Don't leave it on longer than usual. Try to minimize getting burns, because if you get a chemical burn, you can easily have introduction of the product into your body that way. So prepare your scalp with not only just base in the hairline, base the entire scalp. Try to use the lowest strength that you can tolerate that actually will straighten the hair without damaging your skin.
That's the health report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's Healthy Living tip. Wear protective gloves when performing every relaxer service. Avoid using two different relaxer types. And apply a relaxer formulation appropriate for the client's hair, texture, and condition. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the death toll from the collapse of an illegal gold mine in Rosabelle, Suriname climbed to 14 on Tuesday after more bodies were recovered from the facility. The country's president on Monday evening informed the National Assembly that 10 bodies had been pulled from the mine following the accident. Rosabelle is one of South America's largest open-pit gold projects. On the international scene, Israel has signed off on a deal to release at least 50 hostages held in Gaza by Hamas. The hostages to be freed are expected to be women and children. The Israeli government overwhelmingly backed the deal after a 6-hour-long cabinet meeting. Hamas says 150 Palestinian prisoners, also women and children, will be released from Israeli jails as part of the deal. In exchange, Israel will pause its exchange against Hamas for 4 days. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Kelisha Williams.
Thank you, Kelisha. We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.